Imagine a life steeped in power, money, and danger where the lines between right and wrong blur. This was the world of Michael Franzese, once a high-ranking member of New York's notorious Colombo crime family. Our story begins in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, where Franzese was born into a world interlaced with mafia ties. His father, a renowned underboss of the Colombo family, served as his earliest and most influential mentor. Steeped in this environment, young Franzese was nurtured in a reality where the family business was the family, and loyalty was paramount. As Franzese grew older, the allure of power and respect that came with being part of the mafia was irresistible. He made the fateful decision to follow in his father's footsteps, a choice that steered his life on an extraordinary path. His rise within the mafia was meteoric. His cunning, charisma, and ruthless efficiency propelled him up the ranks, and before long he held the formidable position of a capo in the Colombo crime family. His new title came with immense power and respect, but it also painted a target on his back. As we will see, navigating this life was a balancing act of power, danger, and survival. Franzese was not just a member but a capo, a position that came with power, respect, and a target on his back. But every empire, no matter how powerful, has its downfall. For Franzese, it was a life of crime that couldn't last. In the shadowy underworld of the mafia, Michael Franzese was seen as a rising star. His entrepreneurial acumen was channeled into a labyrinth of illicit activities, most notably evading federal gasoline taxes. This audacious venture had the dollars rolling in, elevating Franzese to an unprecedented level of power and influence within the Colombo crime family. His knack for bending the law to his will earned him the moniker, the mob's youthful prodigy. But as they say, the higher you climb, the harder you fall. Franzese was not an exception to this rule. The law, patient and unyielding, was closing in on him. His empire, built on a foundation of illicit activities and blood ties, was about to crumble. The inevitable happened. Franzese was arrested, charged, and eventually convicted. His once lavish lifestyle was replaced by the cold, harsh reality of prison life. The man who once held immense power within the mafia was now just another inmate, confined within the four walls of a cell. Behind bars, Franzese was left with nothing but time. Time to reflect, time to regret, and time to transform. Prison can break a man, or it can make him. For Franzese, it was the latter. He emerged not as a mobster, but as a messenger of change. As the iron bars closed behind him, Franzese found himself at a crossroads. The path he had been on, one of crime and deceit, had led him to this cold, hard reality. It was here in the solitude of his cell that he began to reflect on his life, his choices, and the man he had become. But rather than allowing his past to define him, Franzese chose to shape his own future. He underwent a transformation, a metamorphosis of spirit and character. He made the decision to become a born-again Christian, turning his back on his former life and embracing a new identity rooted in faith and morality. Upon his release, Franzese stepped into a new role, not as a feared mobster, but as a speaker at Christian churches. He began sharing his experiences with La Cosa Nostra, not as a tale of power and fear, but as a cautionary narrative of the dangers of a life of crime. His speaking events became platforms for him to share moral lessons from his past, a way for him to give back and to guide others away from the path he had once walked. These events, often ending with a Q&A session, offered a unique insight into the life of a former mobster, providing audiences with a first-hand account of the dark underbelly of the mafia. Michael Franzese, once a feared mobster, is now a beacon of redemption and change, proving that it's never too late to turn a new leaf.